said, is Fatima, who's going to talk about Indian scripts. Welcome, and give her a big round of applause.
Hi, I'm Fatima. I come from India. I've just recently come to Denmark in this January 2014. Jeg kan tale første kun lidt dansk, so allow me to speak English. And this presentation, I'm going to introduce you to how different Indian scripts are as compared to Latin scripts. So Danish is based on the Latin script, and this is just a brief introduction on how other writing systems are so different from this one. So I had just come to Denmark and my few days, and I enter the supermarket, into a grocery store. Of course, I need food in a new country. And I stand in front of the shelf and I go like, oh my God. I couldn't understand anything because of course everything on the shelf was written in Danish. My food did taste very strange the first few weeks. I thought, how difficult can it get, because the script is still Latin and it's still English alphabets. I called this place Vejle for a long time. And the bus driver did not know where I wanted to go, and I had to keep showing the address on my phone screen. And I'm like, how does he get it now? What is wrong? What's happening? So I understood pronunciations are different. Coming from India, why I'm not scared of languages? India is such a huge country with so many cultures and languages that if you decide to travel in any new direction, it is very common to come across many new languages, many new scripts, as and when you keep passing a few kilometers. So it's you change direction, language changes, script changes, so we are very used to that. To give you an example, I'm just one Indian from this state in blue color. I grew up learning 3 languages in my school: English, Hindi, which is the country's language, Marathi, which is the state language. I spoke a 4th language at home, which is Gujarati, because my family migrated from a different state. My husband is from a tiny state there, so I learned the 5th language. This is the number of languages the country has, and that's the official record on paper. It's a country with huge heritage and history. I mean, there have been civilizations since 500 BC, and there are a lot of diverse cultures that live there, coexist together. Although there are so many languages, when it comes to written forms, that is the scripts in which you read the languages, a lot of languages share a few scripts. So when it comes to official scripts, we have recognized a bunch of them as the official scripts as the writing systems in India. This is the currency note, and you see them listed over here. For the benefit of this presentation, I'm going to focus on only the main script, that is Hindi, Devanagari, and compare it with English. Starting with vowels, and of course we have some new ones in Danish, which is the A, U, and O. And the Devanagari one has a bunch of them. Same principle, vowels, A, I, U, A, O, aha. Then we have a family of consonants, which is basically all the other sounds other than the vowels. So you have these, which happens on the Latin script, and we have ones which are on the Devanagari, and it goes like k, kh, g, gh, d, p, ch, ch, j, jh, j, and so on. It's a long list. 20 seconds is too less. Principally, all languages work in a similar system. You take a consonant, you take a vowel, and you place them together to create a sound. So T plus O becomes tu, and G plus O becomes go. Similar thing happens in the Indian script, where you take a consonant, take a vowel. The only difference is, when these 2 guys come together, they give birth to a new character, a new symbol altogether. It's not a consonant and a vowel standing next to each other. They fuse and become new characters. So every time that marriage happens in the Indian script, it's that many new characters. It's new avatars, it's new forms of the same character. That's how consonants and vowels work. These are more examples. Ch plus I is equal to cha, f plus e is equal to phi. Even if I have to take you through a keyboard and how it works, we have consonants on one side. So you pick a consonant, you pick a vowel, but on screen it's not 2 of them as separate letters. It switches to the character it's supposed to become because of the fusion. This is just an example of a sentence. So you have consonants, you have vowels, and you have these groups which are consonants and vowels. But when they come together as words and sentences, of course they become seamless and they look like a uniform unit. And this is just an example of a sentence. The highlighted signs are the signs that connote the extra vowels that have been added to the characters. If that's not enough, we also add one more layer of this fusion, where we allow consonants and consonants to get married together. KNT, KT, SNK, SK, same thing when you do it in Devanagari, it becomes a new character again. You take half of one letter, you take half of the second letter, and they fuse. Forgive the cheesy expression, but to get the point across, R and D for D are half R and half D that come together. In Elska, half S and K that come together. Written in Indian script, those alphabets will become new letters. It's not two characters anymore. This is just another example. So we saw the list of consonants in the beginning. All consonants can marry each other, and they produce different children. So that's the number of characters that there are in the Indian script. And it's an interesting blend of half of each letter that becomes, so you recognize what the character is. This is another example where, again, when they come together as words and sentences, you don't see them as, weird mutated forms. They just blend together. The design of the font and typography is done such that it all blends together and fits together. The highlighted ones are the conjuncts, the co-joined twins. Not to overwhelm you, but this is what a ream of text in the Indian text would look like. This has a combination of individual consonants, individual vowels, vowels and consonants together, consonants and consonants together. They all hang from the top. The English script or the Latin script, letters sit at the bottom of a line. In this one, they hang from the top. For a typographer who designs fonts, when a typographer is designing a Latin script, they have to design 500, 600 glyphs, and that's it. Because the glyphs can just have different combinations and you've done the job. When it comes to that, the number of combinations require a designer to design nearly 2,000 glyphs. To just summarize, what we have explored here is different writing systems. We don't sometimes question what we grow up learning, so this is just to push you in a different direction and show you how there are other possibilities. Just an example, alphabet system is where consonants, vowels stand as individual alphabets. What we looked here is the Devanagari one, the Hindi one, where the consonants have different characters as vowels and the other mergers are possible. There's also one more in between, which is called as the Abjad, which is like the Persian and the Arabic script, where you have only consonants. It does not have vowels. A user or the reader fills in the vowels. And of course, what we looked at was the other end, which is the Devanagari, which has every possibility in it. Complex subject, but I hope I intrigued you into looking at it. Thank you.